Welcome back Pythonians. Let's continue this series on Python. If you remember, in the last video we had seen what is a list, what is the syntax of a list. Also we had seen some methods about the list. In this video we are going to see what is a tuple. In tuple we can store the multiple items in the single variable. But same thing we can do with the list also. Then what is the difference between the tuple and the list? Here is the main difference. Tuple is the collection which is ordered and the unchangeable. We can't change the value of the elements of a tuple. In the list, we are using the square bracket to represent a list. Here, to represent a tuple in the Python, we have to use the parenthesis. So let's see an example of a tuple. Suppose I have a tuple and the name of the variable is tuple. And there are 6 items in the tuple. Here the indexing starts from the 0 and the last index is 5. And here the negative indexing. Suppose at the 0 index I have the yellow smiley, at the first index I have the orange one, at the second index I have the green smiley, at the third I have the blue smiley, also at the fourth I have the white smiley, and also at the 5 the repeated one, the yellow smiley. Here you can see at the 0 and the 5th index I have the same value, that is the yellow smiley. So you can repeat the values. If I try to add the another smiley in the tuple, it will give an error. So you can't add the element in the tuple. If I try to delete the element, then it will also give an error. So you can't add and the delete element. You can only access the elements. So it's time to do the actual step, the time of implementation. So let's see an example of a tuple. Suppose I have a variable my tuple and inside that I am storing some values. Here I am using a parenthesis, it means a tuple. If you use a square bracket, it means a list. So let's print. Here you can see it had saved the Python, C++ and the Java, and the order is same as I had assigned to the my tuple. So it is that much simple. So let's see, can we store the duplicate items in the tuple? Suppose I have the my tuple and inside that 3 items Python, C++ and the Java, and I add again the Python. So let's print the my tuple. Here you can see Python, C++, Java and again the Python. Python is printed 2 times, that means it had stored the Python 2 times. That means tuple can have the items with the same value. So let's see how can we find the length of the tuple. Here I have the same tuple Python, C++ and the Java. Here you have to use the length function to find the length of the tuple. Here you can see the length of the tuple is 3. There are 3 items in the tuple. Now let's see, can we create a tuple with this single value or this single item? I did it C++ and the Java. It had printed the only Python value. So let's see the type of the my tuple. I am using the type function. Here you can see it had printed the class string. It means my tuple is of class string. So it is not a tuple. So how can we convert it into a tuple? You have to just add the comma after the value. So here you can see the type of the my tuple. Here it had printed the class tuple. So now the my tuple is of class tuple. So let's see what data types can we store in the tuple. Suppose I have a t1 tuple and inside that I am storing the Python, C++. And also I have a tuple t2. It's storing numbers, that is integers 1, 2, 3. and also I have a tuple T3 which is storing the boolean values, that means true or false. So let's print. Here in T1 it had stored the Python and C++. That means it can store the string data type. Now let's print the T2. So it can store the integer values also. Now let's print the T3. Here you can see it had stored the boolean values also. So you can use the tuple to store the different data types. Can I store the different data types in the single tuple? Let's see. I have a tuple 1, and inside that a string Python, also a number 100, and also a boolean value true. So let's print. So here you can see Python 100 and true. So you can store the different data types into a single tuple. So let's see what is the type function. Actually, type function is used to see the what is the type of the object or the data type. Here you have to use the print and the type function and the tuple 1. Here the tuple 1 is the tuple where the Python 100 and the true values are stored. So here you can see the type of the tuple 1 is tuple. So let's see what is a tuple constructor in the Python. Using the tuple constructor, you can convert the list into a tuple. Suppose here is the example. This tuple is the name of the variable, and I am using the tuple constructor, and I am using the double parenthesis or the double round bracket. Here the apple, banana and cherries are the items that I want to store in this tuple. If I print this, here you can see apple, banana and that values are stored in the tuple, this tuple. And I am using the tuple, and I am not using the double rounded bracket, and inside that I am storing the value. So let's see what it had store. So here you can see that it had slices the each and every character and it converted into a tuple Python, that are the elements of the tuple 2. So let's see how can we access the tuple items. In the list we had seen the how can we access the elements. In the same way we can access the elements from the tuple. Suppose I have a tuple, my tuple, and inside that Python, C++ and the Java. If I want to print the my tuple of 0th position of element. Here you can see at the 0 position Python is stored. If I want to print the element which is at the first index, I have to use only a 1 here. And here you can see a C++ is stored at the first index. If I use 2, Java is stored at the second index. So can I use the negative indexing? Let's do it here. If I use a -2, here you can see my C++ is stored at the -2. The length of the my tuple is 3. So the Java is at the -3, C++ is at the -2 and the Python is at the -3. If I use here a -3, here you can see Python is stored at the -3 position. Here we had seen how can we access this single element from the tuple. But if I want multiple elements from the tuple, then how can I do that? I have to just specify the range of the values. Here I am specifying 2 to 5. So let's see what it had printed. Here you can see that it had printed the cherry, orange and the kiwi. Cherry is at the second position, orange is at the third and kiwi is at the fourth. So the last index is neglected by the range. Suppose I want to print the first 3 elements Then how can I do that? It's so simple. I have to just assign here a 3. Here you can see that apple, banana and cherry are the first 3 elements of the this tuple. Now let's see how can we update the tuple. We had studied tuple is immutable. That means we can't change the values of the tuple. But there is a tricky way. In that way we can change the tuple. As we know, list is mutable. So we can convert the tuple into a list. Then we can update the list, and then again we can convert the list into a tuple. In that way we can update the tuple. So here is the example. Suppose I have the X, Python, C++ and the Java, which is a tuple. If I convert the X into a list function, and now tuple is converted into a list. Now I can change its values. Y of 0 is equal to C. I am changing its 0th position value to the C. Now I am again convert the list into a tuple. X is equal to tuple constructor and the variable Y. Now let's print the X. Here you can see C, C++ and the Java. Here the value of the X was Python, C++ and the Java. Python value is replaced by the C. In that way we can update the values of the tuple. Now let's see how can we add the elements to the tuple. As we had updated, in the same way we are going to add the elements. Here X is equal to Python, C++ and the Java. If I want to add the C language, then I have to first convert it into a list of X. Now the X is converted into a list. Now I am appending a Y dot append C language. Now the C language is appended into a list Y. Now I convert it into a tuple using the tuple constructor. Now let's print the tuple X. Here you can see C is added into a tuple X. In that way we can add the items. So let's see how can we remove the items. So let's do the same one. I have the Python, C++ and the Java. First I convert the tuple into a list. Then Y dot remove, and I remove C++. Then I convert it into a tuple. Let's print it. So here you can see C++ is not in the tuple. In that way we can remove items from the tuple. Now let's see how can we unpack a tuple. Here I have X is equal to Python, C++ and the Java. Here if I execute it, it means it is a packing of tuple. So let's see how can we unpack them. Here you can see I have a variable which is a tuple fruits, and I had stored the 3 values apple, banana and the cherry. Here the 3 variable tuple green, yellow and the red, and I had assigned a value fruits. If I execute it, let's print the value of the green. Here if you see, green has stored the apple. So let's see a yellow. Yellow has stored the banana. Red had stored the cherry. According to the index, it had stored the values. So let's see how can we unpack a tuple using the asterisk sign. Suppose I have a variable fruits, and inside that I store some values. So here you can see green, yellow and the before the variable red I had used the asterisk sign. So let's see what it had stored. If I print green, you can see it had stored the single value apple. If I use the yellow, It also had the single value, that is the banana. So let's see a red. It had stored a list which had the values cherry, strawberry and raspberry pie. So it had stored the last values, as I had assigned a red at the last. If I use the asterisk sign at the yellow one, so let's see what it had stored. If I use the red, here you can see, if I execute this and again I execute that one, here you can see red had stored only a raspberry pie. If I use here a yellow, it had stored the banana, cherry and the strawberry. If I here use the green, you can see it had stored the single value apple. It means green has value assigned a apple and the last one red had assigned a value raspberry pie, and the remaining values are assigned to the yellow one. So can we add the two tuples? Let's see. Suppose I have a tuple t1 which is storing a string data types Python and the C. I have another tuple t2 which is storing the integer values. Then I am creating the third tuple which is add the t1 and the t2. I have to just use the plus operator. Let's print the t3. Here you can see Python C 1, 2, 3 are added into a single tuple, that is t3, which is the type tuple. So can I multiply a tuple? So let's multiply the tuple t1. Let's create the tuple t4 which multiply the t1 by the 3. So let's print the t4. Here you can see t4 is also a tuple in which t1 is get multiplied by the 3 times. Here Python C, Python C, Python C. That means t1 is stored the 3 times. Now let's see some methods in the tuple. Python has only two methods, that is the count and the index. Count just returns the number of times specified value occurs in the tuple, and the index method just returns the index of the value. So let's do it here. Suppose I have a tuple t1 which is storing only integer values 1, 3, 4, 2, 1, 4, 3, 5 and the 6. If I use here t1 dot count method and I want to count the one value, that means how many times 1 is repeated in the t1. So here you can see 1 is repeated 2 times in the t1. If I count 3, here you can see 3 is also repeated 2 times. If I use t1 dot index method and I am assigning a value 3, here you can see the index of the value 3 is 1. So the 3 is at the first index. So here you can see 3 is also at the -3 position, but it had printed the only 1. So it's print a value which is at the first one. So in this video we had seen what is a tuple, how can we define a tuple, we had seen the properties of the tuple, also we had seen how can we find the length of the tuple, we had seen how can we create a tuple with the single item, we had seen we can create the heterogeneous tuple, that means we can store the multiple data types into a single tuple. We had seen what is a tuple constructor. Also we had seen how can we access the elements from the tuple. We had seen how can we update the tuple. Also we had seen how can we add or delete the items from the tuple. Also we had seen how can we unpack the tuple. And also we had did some operations on the tuple just like adding or multiplying a tuple. And we had seen the two methods about the tuple, that is count and the index. So that's for the today. Thank you so much for watching the video.